Edu Channel, the national educator.
Hello everyone and welcome to yet another exciting, fun-filled and informative biology lesson. As you know, biology is all about fun. My name is Jack Mutinda, I'm the host, and the sign language interpreter is Velma Akinyi, and of course, Mwalimu.
Yeah,
Big intro. It's been a while. How have you been?
very well.
Alright, please introduce yourself.
Yes, I'm Mary Kamau, a teacher of biology.
Exactly.
Yeah, welcome, Lana.
Yeah, welcome all. I hope you have your writing materials ready with you, because you know whatever you write, you won't forget, and at least you'll get the chance to revise when you want to. So, Mwalimu, what are we going to study now?
So today we are doing nutrition in plants and animals.
Nutrition in plants and animals.
Yes.
That's the topic.
Yes, that is a topic.
Uh-huh.
A very broad topic.
A very broad topic.
So our subtopic of discussion today is chemicals of life, which again is a broad subtopic narrowed down to lipids. So today I basically want us to look at lipids. Yes.
Mwalimu, I believe by the end of this all I'll be a nutritionist.
Could be. Could be.
Okay. So now, maybe we go to the objectives of today's lesson.
Yes.
At least know what I have to take home by the end of it all.
Sure. So our objectives today are that by the end of the lesson, the learner at home should be able to describe what are lipids.
Description of lipids.
Yes. State the properties of lipids.
Properties.
Yes, and the functions of lipids in living organisms.
All right. So it's description of the lipids.
Yes.
Properties of lipids.
Yes.
Functions of lipids.
Yes.
It's very simple and straightforward. Sure. Okay. So let's go.
So
Straight to it.
Sure. So this is a topic of nutrition. Even before we get to lipids, Jack, I want to remind you something about nutrition, what nutrition is, so that even as we get into our subtopic today on lipids, we move on together, understanding what exactly we are talking about.
Where we are coming from. It's
definitely
what is nutrition.
Yes. Nutrition. So nutrition is the process by which living organisms obtain and assimilate nutrients in their body cells. The process by which living organisms obtain and assimilate nutrients in the body cells.
All right.
Yes. So what you eat food.
Yes.
The food is mechanically and chemically digested. But what your body requires is not that food. It is the nutrients
in the food.
Very good. Yeah. So it happens that then lipids is part of the chemicals of life, what we need in our daily life, in one way or another. So that is what you're going to see today.
So in short, lipids are very, very essential in our body.
Very essential. Yeah, you have them. You have them. It is only that probably you had not thought of them or of you having them. But today I'm proving to you that you have them.
You know, the best thing about biology is practical. Whatever you say and you doubt it, now. It's here and there.
Very
like, hey, sour.
Good.
All right.
So lipids is a general term for fats and oils.
Fats and oils.
Fats and oils.
Okay.
I'm sure you've ever heard of cooking fat. You've ever heard of cod liver oil.
That's what actually I was thinking. Cod liver oil. Yes.
Very good.
Yes.
So lipids is therefore a general term for fats and oils. Good. So then we have the difference between the two. So we have fats in animals.
Yes.
We have oils in plants.
So plants don't have fats.
Plants don't have fats.
They have oil.
They have oils.
Animals don't have oil.
No, I will not say that animals don't have oil, because we've just talked cod
Cod,
liver oil
Yeah.
from
Cod liver oil.
from
Let me just-
fish.
Fish. Actually,
Very
actually, I
good.
had it in mind, and I was like,
Uh-huh.
"Ay, hapana, si
Yeah.
samaki."
So we have fats specifically in animals, but oils they are found in plants,
Plants.
plus some animals,
Plus some
such
animals,
as fish.
such as fish.
Yeah. So when we are taking
okay.
cod liver oil,
Yes.
it is from fish.
It's from-
but when we are taking or when we are using sunflower oil for
It's
cooking,
from the plant sunflower.
that is it.
all right.
Yeah, corn oil.
Corn. Yeah, exactly.
You get it?
It's from
yeah.
plants.
So that is actually the major difference. One of the differences between fats and oils.
Oils.
That fats are found in animals,
animals.
but oils are found in plants
and
but-
some animals.
Very good.
all right.
You have put it so well. Some animals such as fish.
Fish.
Good. Then oils. Now come to think of cod liver oil. I don't know, Jack. Have you ever taken cod liver oil?
I think everybody took that one when we were
Oh,
kids.
very
Remember that
good.
medicine which had this old guy with a hat carrying a whole
Oh,
fish?
very
Now that was the
good.
picture on the
Very
the
good.
medicine,
Now,
yeah.
when we talk of cod liver oil, what is its formulation? Is it in solid? Is it in liquid?
It's in liquid.
It is in liquid.
Yes.
Very good. So that is when we say that oils are liquids, or are in form of liquids at room temperature.
Temperature.
What about the cooking fat, kasuku?
Cooking for their solid at
They
room
are,
temperature.
they are solids at room
At
temperatures.
room
But that does not mean that we cannot change the formulation of oils.
That's why we said at room temperature.
At
We
room
were
temperature.
specific.
Very
If
good.
we
So
change the
that-
temperatures, they could turn to solid or liquid.
Very good. The same case applies to these fats. Once we place them in the cooking, on fire, for example, on that sufuria we are cooking, something happens to these fats.
Yes, they
So
melt.
They melt. They liquefy.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yes.
Very good. So, then lipids and lipids now, the general term, you get what lipids are.
Yes,
The
yes.
general term,
Yes.
fats and
Fats and
oils.
oils.
And the difference between fats and oils.
Oils.
Okay?
Yes.
So then we have the elements. We have the elements,
Elements of
the elements that makes up the chemicals of life. I don't know whether you can remember, we had talked about this sometimes back, and we said basically all chemicals of life are made up of three elements. All chemicals of life are made up of three elements. But then we have some chemicals of life that have other additional elements. So the three elements are, we have carbon,
carbon.
we have hydrogen,
Is there oxygen?
and then we have oxygen. You are right.
Okay.
Okay, so those are the three elements that make up the chemicals of life. It is only that now the numbers of these elements in different chemicals of life differ, like we are going to see later, and then we will see other chemicals of life, okay, which have other additional elements other than carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. But then these three must always be
Present.
there. Okay? Sawa. Now, the lipids that we are talking about, they have a lower number of oxygen atoms. Okay? They have
lipids
a
have
lower,
a low number
yeah,
of
they have
oxygen
a lower
atoms.
number of oxygen atoms compared to carbohydrates.
Yes.
You know, there's usually that confusion between lipids and carbohydrates. Because, lipids, when we take lipids,
Yes.
like you're going to see, they provide our bodies with energy. When we take carbohydrates, in fact, we refer to them as energy-giving foods. Unaona? So that is why, despite the fact that carbohydrates have the three elements, carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen, lipids have the same carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen, then the
But
number of
oxygen
atoms in
is
lipids
low
is lower than in carbohydrates.
than in carbohydrates.
Yeah. Good.
That's one
Then-
distinguishing factor of
that is one distinguishing factor
Of
a bit
lipids.
of lipids and carbohydrates, in
carbohydrates.
as far as elements are
concerned.
concerned.
Aha.
You get
Okay.
it?
Yes.
Very good. Now, these lipids that we are talking about, okay? The lipids that we are talking about are made up of building blocks.
building blocks.
Yeah, they are made up of building blocks. That means we have some substances that make up these lipids. So the lipids are made up of the fatty acids, okay? Fatty acids, and they are also made up of another compound that is known as glycerol. So lipids are made up of fatty acids and glycerol. You get? And that is why we say that the building blocks of lipids are fatty acids and glycerol.
William, let me ask something about this. Is it in any way related to glycerin?
No, it's not in any way related to glycerin, but as we continue, you will get where this is coming from. Okay? Actually, it is, you will remind me. Oh, I remember asking this question, and this is very good. So, then, so when this, a lipid of molecule therefore is made up of these compounds when condensed together. So when fatty acids and glycerol are condensed, they form a lipid. Condensation is coming in here because during the formation of lipids, from the fatty acids and glycerol, a water molecule is given out. A water molecule is given out. So that is why we are talking of the condensation process. Okay, so when fatty acid molecules and glycerol molecules condense, then fatty acids are, then lipids are formed. You get? Yeah, so you get the whole story about lipids?
Yes, I get it.
Yes.
The components of lipids and also the elements of chemicals of life. And that distinguishing factor between lipids and carbohydrates.
Very good.
It's the amount of oxygen.
Yes.
Okay.
So ordinarily in exams you find students being told, state the building blocks of lipids, and they wonder what exactly does it mean, you know, those substances that condense to form a lipid. So fatty acids and glycerol condense, they form a lipid. And condensation coming in because I've said a water molecule is given out. A water molecule is given out. I hope you're getting the story.
Yes, I am. I hope you at home still are getting the story.
Yeah. So, the nature of lipid depends on the fatty acids it contains. So sometimes the glycerol molecules may be similar, or maybe similar. The number of glycerol molecules may be similar in so many lipids.
Yes.
But then, what distinguishes one lipid from the other is the presence of the number of fatty acids. The number of fatty acids.
Glycerol is universal in all lipids.
It may be universal in all lipids. Yeah, it may be universal in all in all lipids. But then, what distinguishes one lipid from the other is the presence of the
fatty acids.
The number of fatty acids. Good. Now we have different types of lipids. There are, I want to give you now examples of lipids so that you understand that this is not actually a big deal on the lipids. So one example of a lipid is a phospholipid. Phospholipid. So a phospholipid is a material, or it is one of the layers that is found in the cell membrane. So initially, when biology was being introduced to Form 1s, they were told that we have plant and animal cells. They have different structures, okay? One of the structure that is found in both plant cell and animal cell is a cell membrane. So a cell membrane, plant cells have cell membranes and animal cells have cell membranes. So a cell membrane is made up of 3 layers. Okay, that is a phospholipid layer sandwiched between 2 protein layers. So this phospholipid is a very good example of a lipid. You get? You get?
Yes.
Number 2, we have wax. Okay? Wax. Yes, wax.
I'm thinking about candle wax.
You're thinking of candle wax.
Yes.
You're not thinking of the waxy cuticle in leaves?
Yes. Also that one.
Yes. So we have wax in plants. We have also, we have wax in plants, and the processed wax now from the honeycombs to make a candle wax.
Candle wax, yes.
So, but here we are talking of now, because it is in biology, where we have the what? Where we have living things, where we talk about living things. So we have wax, a very good example of, you just remember about the waxy cuticle, that is
cuticle
found in the leaves of different plants. We have the steroids. Steroids. Okay. Steroids. I'm sure you've ever heard of steroids, especially in muscle building. The muscle builders use some anabolic steroids.
You see, I'm not even saying anything.
No, I know.
Because I know them, yeah.
Very good. So we have some that are naturally found in the body. We have some that are artificial. I think the bodybuilders use the artificial ones.
Yeah, so what they take to enhance their muscle growth and everything, they are artificial.
Yeah.
But the body has steroids in it.
Yes, we have steroids, natural steroids. Natural steroids. For example, some hormones are in form of steroids, like the progesterone hormone in the menstrual cycle.
That is in females.
Yes, that is in females.
What about in males?
In males, we will do a research on that.
Okay.
Then we have the cholesterol.
Cholesterol.
Is it?
Cholesterol. That's
good. Still, cholesterol.
Yes,
we really try to fight this.
Yeah,
cholesterol. Because it is bad. Once it accumulates in the body, sometimes it block most of the major organs in the body. Accumulation of cholesterol around the heart can block the heart.
But I will say, it's only harmful when it's in high amounts.
Yes, but how do we reduce the amounts?
Exercise.
Exercises, or taking little amount of fatty foods.
And this reminds me, there's this cooking oil, which is written cholesterol free.
Yeah.
Does it mean it's only that oil? What about fats?
Well, for fats, they still write that they are cholesterol free, but you see, our bodies take up these things in different ways, and we can get cholesterol from so many things. Okay. A discussion of another day. So these are just examples of lipids.
Yes.
Yeah, because I didn't want you to float and wonder, are they real things?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So then we have the properties of lipids, and I will take you through these properties of lipids very fast, because you have mentioned most of them in our discussion. That one of them is fat is heated. When fats are heated, you've told me that they readily change into liquid form. Into liquids. And when these oils are placed in, for example, in a deep freezer state in the refrigerator, sometimes they can also solidify. Okay. Number 2, both fats and oils are insoluble in water.
Yeah, water and oil
they don't mix. Very good. So they are insoluble in water. But then both of them, they dissolve in organic solvents. They dissolve in organic solvents. Like ethanol, if you dissolve them in ethanol, if you mix them with ethanol, they will dissolve. Alcohol, they will dissolve. And I don't know, I start to be corrected, Jack. I don't know whether that is why these people who drink, they eat fatty food and then they drink. Probably to... Is there any relationship? Come to think of it.
Actually, they say before you go taking all that, you have to have eaten well. But now, like, entirely, it's all about fatty foods. The roast meat, the deep fried, and all. That's what they say. That's hivyo ndio umeweka foundation vizuri.
Yeah, because although fats and or lipids do not dissolve in water, they are able to dissolve in organic solvents, such as alcohol, such as ethanol, etc. Okay? Lipids are inert. Lipids are inert. That means that they are not chemically reactive.
Okay.
Okay, they are not chemically reactive. Yeah.
Oh,
So when stored in the body tissues, then they do not alter the osmotic properties in the cells.
Okay.
Yes.
Because
They are inert.
They are inert.
So having gone through all that
Yes,
about
Mulimu.
lipids, let us summarize with the functions of lipids.
Okay.
So number one, we have that lipids are oxidized to release energy in the body. So once they are broken down, they release energy that is required for metabolic activities that takes place in all living cells or in all living organisms. Good. Number two, organisms store lipids in form of glycogen. Organisms store lipids in form of glycogen. Yeah. So we have glycogen that is stored in the liver, which is then broken down or oxidized in times of need, when the blood sugar level, for example, falls below normal.
Okay.
You get it?
Okay.
Yeah, it is stored in the liver cells. And I don't know whether you can remember the name that we give to the liver cells. They are the hepatocytes.
The hepatocytes.
Yeah.
That's
Then,
what I'm trying to remember.
when lipids are completely oxidized, then they release more water than energy as compared to carbohydrates.
Oh, that's another distinguishing factor between carbohydrates and lipids.
Yes.
When the lipids are oxidized, they release more water than energy.
Yes.
But when carbohydrates are totally oxidized,
Yes.
they release more energy than water.
Yes,
Aha,
very
okay,
good.
okay.
So, and that is why we have the humped animals. That are reared in those desert areas where there is insufficient food, insufficient water, so they store fat in their hump.
humps.
So when this fat is oxidized, then it releases energy and metabolic water that is required by these animals. Very
okay.
good. So lipids form part of plasma membrane and protoplasm. Yeah, so the plasma membrane that I talked about, we have the phospholipid as a layer in the plasma membrane, which is an example of a lipid. The protoplasm is the living part of the cell. Then the other function of lipid in living organism is that they are stored under the skin in form of adipose tissue to insulate the body against heat loss. So that layer under the skin, that layer of fat under the skin that is known as adipose tissue or the subcutaneous tissue, it's made up of these fats, which is part of lipids.
Now let me ask that part. Is that the reason why those people are healthy? Like, ndio maana wanaambiaga waski baridi?
Yes.
Compared to
those people who have lean bodies, slender bodies, because the thickness of the adipose tissue differs in those two human beings.
Okay, so that has a biological explanation to it.
Definitely. I told you everything about life and living organisms is biological and has a biological explanation. Good. Right. Then animals such as whales, such as seal, hippopotamus have a thick adipose tissue under the skin to enable them remain buoyant in water. So the presence of that tissue, the presence of that thick adipose tissue in those aquatic organisms enables them to float on water. That is why you realize that hippopotamus is too weighty. But how is it able to remain afloat on water?
And I have another question on that one. Same analogy to the slender people and the thick. I would say thick. When it comes to swimming, so they have an added advantage compared to
the lean-bodied people. Very good. You are getting it right.
Okay.
Yes. And then when fat is deposited around the major organs, like the heart, like the kidney, then it absorbs shock. Okay? Not act as.
It absorbs.
It absorbs shock. When deposited around major body organs such as the heart, such as the kidney, and all that. So it absorbs shock. Then we have the wax that we talked about. which is an example of a lipid that is found in the leaves.
Yes.
The waxy cuticle
Waxy
that we were
cuticle.
talking about, which reduces the rate of
transpiration.
Yes.
All right.
You get it?
Okay,
So
yes.
you can see these lipids are very, very important
Yes.
in both plants and animals. Very important in both plants and animals. Now, Jack, from all what we've discussed, I have these few questions for you and the learner at home.
Okay.
Name the building units of lipids.
Building units.
Yes.
Here they are.
They are
Fatty
here.
acids
and
and
glycerol. Very good.
exactly.
You have fatty acids and
Yes.
glycerol. But then you keep on checking the correct spelling of fatty acids and glycerol. Then, two functions of adipose tissue.
Adipose tissue in animals, it helps animals like hippopotamus and the rest, buoyancy.
Now, this word is a
Okay.
word of caution
Yes.
in biology.
Aha.
Avoid using the word help.
Help.
So I can assist you. Okay. So we have the functions of adipose tissue. They insulate the body against heat loss.
Yes,
okay,
yes, that's
where
the
they are
second part.
found, and they also protect the inner delicate organs such as the heart, such as the kidneys. So said when they are found around such major organs,
Yes.
they absorb shock.
Yes.
And once they absorb shock, then they protect such organs.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Then two functions of lipids. They are source of chemical
They are source of
energy. Okay. And
yes.
they are also structural compounds.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
In living organisms.
All right. So,
Good.
Mwalimu, because I see we have run out of time.
Yeah.
Do you have an assignment for us?
Yes, I have.
Okay, please,
Here
go
is
ahead.
the assignment.
State the fate of excess fatty acids and glycerol in the body after digestion. That's question number one. Give two differences between fats and oils. Yes. State the fact of excess fatty acids and glycerol in the body after digestion. Give two differences between fats and oils. That's our take-home assignment. Yes.
Very good. Well done.
All right. Thanks a lot, Molim. That has been very informative. I always learn something new every day. I also learn a biological explanation to some myths which we think ni myths to ni story.
Right.
Yeah, I hope you at home also have learned something new and you have enjoyed the lesson. You've taken your notes. You know that to revise them when you need to. I've been your host, Jack Mutinda. Our sign language interpreter is Velma Akinyi and Mwalimu.
I'm Mary Kamau.
Exactly. Until next lesson, goodbye.
Goodbye.